YouTube! I'm here with a DIY of how to make a candle for Valentine's Day or for any occasion really, and they're going to be made out of soy wax, and I'm going to use essential oils, which are pure plant-based oils, and I'll show you one made out of fragrance oils, which actually those are probably easier to find and less expensive. So I'll have the more natural version and the synthetic, which would use fragrance oils. So what you need are containers, and I'm using these cute mason jars that I actually found at Target at their kind of like their, dollar spot. I don't know what you call it. Everything's like $1 to $3. So I found these and I thought they're really cute. They have like a chalkboard label, and they already have like a lid that's painted pink. And then they also had a red cap, which is painted, and another chalkboard label. And then I'll show you the DIY that I said I saw before, and it's basically this with the Hello Kitty, but I'll show you that at the end. Okay, so for these, they're about 16 ounces. I did measure how many ounces they were. You could use the smaller mason jars, which are about 8 ounces, but this one, they're a little bit bigger, and they are made for 16 ounces of whatever you want to hold, liquids, solids, and yeah, I'm gonna use this. And then for leftover wax, I just brought a votive, just because there's always leftover, and I just hate to waste it. So really, you could use any container that's glass, heat proof, and safe. And I also recommend for these to take off, like when you're giving it as a present, you can leave the decoration, but take it off when you're gonna burn it. So I'll just pre-do that. So when you buy wax, it comes in these flakes. They're already shaved for you, and that makes melting them easier. And there's really 3 ways that you could melt it. You could microwave it, and it's perfectly safe as long as you have a heat proof, like a Pyrex container. You could do a double broiler on a stove. That's when you put like something like this in a water bath and heat it, and that would be acceptable to melt. Or I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of like a little crock pot, and it is made for melting wax, since I used to make a lot of candles, and so I have that. So that's, if you're gonna make them in bulk, that's probably the best way. But if you're gonna do it for just like 1 or 2 candles, I just microwave it, and that would be totally acceptable. So I'm just gonna put this to the side, and you do need to figure out what size your candle container is, so that you know how much fragrance oil or essential oil that you need. And the formula is basically, for 16 ounces, you need 1 ounce of fragrance. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put some. Okay, so I filled my container again to 16 ounces, which is 2 cups. And I'm gonna use 1 ounce of the essential oil, which I chose lavender. It's just really nice. You might look online, like I said, and see someone telling you to make a candle, and you could use like 5 drops of essential oil or 10 drops. It's just not enough. There's no way you're gonna get a really good candle smell with that little bit of oil. And I know certain oils are stronger than others, but basically you still need that ounce for any type of fragrance, natural, synthetic, to 16 ounces of wax. You really want a good candle. That's like my biggest point to stress. Just pour it in, and some of it could be a little clumpy. It's fine. It's gonna harden all together. Add in a tiny bit more oil. Yeah, I think it got a little too hard. So yeah, and you could add coloring to yours. I really like white candles, but I have made some with the dye, and those are just they kind of get like blotchy.
They're a little harder to control.
Excuse me, to control. Just use a little bit, whatever's left, every last drop. And you can buy essential oils at a health food store or online. I bought mine online through a company that they sell them by bulk, so definitely got a better deal for myself. So these are my 2 essential oil candles, and it takes a while to dry, and then I kind of like fix the wick if it kind of moved. Now's your chance to really get it in the middle. So for my last candle, I'm going to do a mixture. This is chocolate, and I bought this in Hobby Lobby from the candle soap making section. And this one was from the Dollar Tree, I think. It's called Love Spell. And I'm gonna mix them together and just see as an experiment how it turns out. I think it'll be interesting, but love and chocolate go together, so that's the next one. And this one's gonna be for me. And I made the DIY that I said I was gonna do with these Dollar Tree Hello Kitties, except that I didn't do all the steps that the person I saw it used. I basically just took everything off, took out the candy, and glued it on the lid. Basically, it was really easy and it's really cute. So this one's for me. I'm gonna keep that one. So I'm gonna pour more wax for the last candle, my Love Spell chocolate mixture. That should be interesting. And yeah, definitely I'm excited to see how it turns out. Alright, my wax is really hot, so to be careful there. So this is a really fun project. You can do it with your kids. If you're doing it with your kids, just watch that it, probably the microwave would be the easiest, but maybe you do that part, and then when it cools off, you could let them add the fragrance and mix it. That would be really good. My kids used to help me make these. like an awkward angle here. I just like don't want to burn myself. So right now the wax is a little bit hotter than I would recommend. Normally you don't want to put your fragrance when it's super hot because it's just going to evaporate away. So I'm just, since this is synthetic, they're a little stronger, and if it evaporates, I didn't spend as much money on it as an essential oil. So normally I would wait till it was a little cloudy to put it in, but since I'm filming this, I'm just gonna throw it in there. Really like this chocolate. It smells really good. So this came in 1/2 ounce little bottles, and the same with this fragrance oil, the wax smell. So perfect. That'll be an interesting mix. Stir it to see. Okay. So basically stir it around. You smell it. Ooh, it smells good. It's pretty potent. So I didn't lose any of the scent from putting it in while it's super hot. Yeah, it's really good. That one's my candle. So I'm gonna take off the lid, take off the decoration, which I'll put on later, but I recommend do not burn your candle with anything flammable. And once again, you use the wick. Try to straighten it. I mean, they come out wobbly, so yeah, that's the challenge. Just dip it. Try to let it set. And use your little popsicle stick or clothespin or whatever it is you want to use. And just kind of hold it there. Sometimes it takes a couple times. Like, didn't stick right now. Do it again. I used to make candles and sell them, so giving you my good tips. They were in stores in Chicago, and then I kind of just made them for gifts for friends. How I did it, and now I just make it for presents for people. Lock in, like it kind of sets it. So I wouldn't burn it right away, like right after you made it that day. I would definitely let it, what we would say, cure. And the longer it cures, the better it smells, but at least a couple of days. I would really wait a couple of days. My wick is moving all over the place. Gotta double it. Well, that is how you make soy candles. So thank you for joining me, and if you're making this for Valentine's, that's awesome.